Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my June book haul, otherwise known as a birthday book haul, because I'm a big believer in the idea that the month in which your birthday occurs is like a birthday month. I tend to buy books more freely during the month of June because it's my birthday month, so I deserve the books, right? I will start with the books that were either given to me on my birthday or purchased for my birthday specifically. So here we go. First of all, I want to give a shout out to my friend Janessa over at Thoughts from Nowhere. She sent me a book as a gift for my birthday and I just thought it was so sweet. I'm really excited to read this either with her or sometime around the time she's reading it because it'd be fun to buddy read, and that is Saint Anything by Sarah Dessen. I already showed you this book during my birthday vlog if you've seen that. I really don't know what this is about. I've read a few of her books and I have definitely enjoyed them. I've heard really good things about this and I'm really excited to read it. The next book I got from my mom for my birthday, and that is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. I have read this already and it's very, very, very good. This is one of my favorite books. I'm really happy to have this because it matches the cover of Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I highly, highly recommend any books that she has written. This book is about a family who has to go on a road trip to get to a math competition, and they have the help of this sort of lost multi-millionaire tech business guy. Anyways, it's really, really fun. I love this book and I'm super, super happy that I have this on my shelf. Next is another book that I got on my birthday, and that is Slaughterhouse-five by Vonnegut. This is a book that I read during high school. I know it's a classic. I don't remember much about it except for I believe it takes place during World War II. Possibly. Honestly, I should remember more about this, but I don't. I really like that this is like an old vintage paperback. Really excited to eventually read this again. The next three books are from thriftbooks.com. They were bought because it's my birthday, so they're all by C.S. Lewis because I'm obsessed with C.S. Lewis. First of all, I have Letters of C.S. Lewis. I have read this. I checked it out from the library before I bought this copy. This is just a really nice book of letters written like from the time he was a teenager all the way until the time of his death. So it covers like a vast majority of his lifetime, and these letters are to a really, really varied range of people, from people that he worked with at the university that he worked at, to just childhood friends and family members. A lot are to his dad and his brother, which is really fun. I love C.S. Lewis, so I love these. Some people might think it's kind of boring because he really just talks about the books he's reading and like what he's doing with his life and his holidays and stuff, but I really, really love this book. And it also has like a really great section of pictures, which is always fun in a nonfiction book, so this is really good. I also have The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. This is sort of like an allegory story. It's very strange. It's one of the weirder stories that I've read, but it's really short and it's a really interesting look at sort of the ideas of heaven and hell and purgatory, but it's very much like a fantasy story also, so really interesting. And lastly, I have All My Road Before Me, which is actually the diary of C.S. Lewis from the years 1922 until 1927, which is when he was in his 20s. I have not read this book. It's very thick. I'm very excited to read this. C.S. Lewis actually didn't become a Christian until he was in his 30s, so the content of this should be pretty interesting because it'll be a look at his life before he was like a theologian. So yeah, really excited to read this. Next, I have some books that I got at a thrift store recently. Firstly, it's All Quiet on the Western Front, which is a story about World War I. I also read this during high school, but I don't really remember much about it. I'm really, really into World War I stories lately, so I'm excited to reread this. Next, I have Where She Went by Gayle Forman. This is the sequel to the book If I Stay, which recently became a movie. I enjoyed Where She Went more, and I have this copy, or I have this book in hardback, but I wanted a paperback because my copy of If I Stay is a paperback. Anyways, I'm not going to tell you anything about this because if you haven't read If I Stay, it's like massive spoilers. Actually, just the fact that this book exists is sort of a spoiler, so definitely read If I Stay and then read this one because it's a super good sequel. Next, I have The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein. This is not something that I have read yet. I believe it is told from the point of view of a dog. I don't know anything besides that, but one of my friends recommended this to me, and it was only $1 at a thrift store, so I picked it up. And lastly, from the thrift store, I have Stiff by Mary Roach. This is a nonfiction book about people who work in like morgues, I believe it's about like dead bodies, but I've heard that it's really good. I read like the first little bit on the first page, and I thought that the writing style was sort of like dry humor, which is sort of an interesting angle to take on a book about corpses. So I've heard really good things about this. It was on my Goodreads to read page like a long time ago. So I don't remember where I originally heard about this, but I'm really excited to pick it up. Lastly, I have a book that I got from Book Outlet because I bought a book on Book Outlet that came with like a $5 off coupon, and then I applied that to this book. So this ended up being only the price of shipping, I believe, and it's Amy and Roger's Epic Detour. I've talked about this book several times on my channel because I really love it, but I only ever had the Kindle version until I finally bought this for super cheap / basically free on Book Outlet. This is a book about a girl who has to go on a cross-country road trip pretty soon after like a fairly traumatic thing happens to her family. So she's sort of in like a really sort of shaky place emotionally, and she meets this relative stranger who's driving with her across the country to her new house on the East Coast. It's just a really great book. I love road trip books, and this is one of my favorites, so definitely check it out. That is my birthday book haul. If you've read any of these books, please let me know. I would love to chat with you in the comments. Also, I'll leave my Goodreads and my Twitter information. And yeah, just thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon with something else. Bye.